When I first played NieR, it was a game that really enhanced the meaning of life in my own personal aspect. At the time that I played this game for the first time, I had just been going through my first breakup essentially, and it was a game that really put a different aspect on life, on the fact that we are so glued to what makes stimulation the focal point of entertainment, that we are living in essentially a simulation that puts us in a perspective of being controlled by our own devices. And this is what I was really looking forward to seeing in the anime adaptation of NieR. I recently finished the last episode of NieR, the anime that released just this past year, and I would like to say that it is an anime that has surpassed my expectations for adapting not only a game to an anime, which is something that is usually done very poorly, but I would say that this adaptation of this game series that has multiple endings, they even make fun of it during some of the episodes, is really well done in a way that it pays homage to how good and successful the original game property was at the time of its release. NieR is one of my favorite animes this year, if I have to be honest. It's going to be very argumentative to say this, but I would say that NieR is up there with Frieren of being one of the best anime this past year. I would say I wanted to talk about what made this anime such a significant watch for me. I enjoyed every single little moment, especially when it came to A2 more towards the end, where she was interacting with all of the mechanical life forms that she came across, especially with Pascal and their village. The fact that she was able to see how these machine life forms essentially got emotion and had a sense of fear that eventually led to their downfall, etc., etc. If you haven't watched the series, I would highly recommend it. For the most part, when 2B and Ninus were on scene, it was always such a fun time. In the beginning, I found Ninus to be very annoying, and this is very nostalgic of how I felt when I first played the game. Ninus was like so freaking annoying. Thinking back to it now since I finished the anime, I was able to recall that sense. I also wanted to talk about how well they also adapted not only the story itself, they went one to one with this story, from adapting it from the game to the anime adaptation. If you have never played NieR ever before, I would highly recommend it still, even if you haven't played it and just want to watch the anime. I would still recommend it. During the time that I was watching this anime, I would have said, yeah, watch the anime if you don't want to play the game, but I would still highly recommend playing the game because there is a certain scenario that happens at the end of the game that doesn't really appear in the anime, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone that really wants to get more into the story or learn much more about the game's ending that differentiates between that of its anime adaptation, because it is significantly so good that it made me stop playing games for a very long time. And I know that's kind of weird to say because you question it like, how does that work? Well, you would have to essentially finish the game to find out what I mean by that. But this anime really goes to show that in life, there's always a purpose in everything that you do. Life ain't always gonna be perfect. There will always be regrets, especially with Project Yora. The fact that it was all a lie to begin with, that humanity had already became extinct by the year 5012. Mind you, this is a distant future beyond our own comprehension, way after I'm gonna be gone. This video will essentially be a fossil compared to that of the year 5012. I hope humanity's still alive by then. Hello. From the year 2024. I want to see what people in the year 5012 think of this video. That would be funny to see. They got Ninus's mental stability deterioration really well done. That is something that I had watched dub For this anime, I definitely wanted to watch it dubbed because I played the game in the dub. I noticed that the same actors that played for the game played the roles of the anime adaptation, which was a very nice callback to see the returning actors perform again in an updated format that is more theatrical, which was very heartwarming to see. But the way 9S is portrayed in this anime more towards the end, where he is losing his shit because 2B literally died right in front of his face due to A2 killing her because 2B had already gotten the virus. It was insane. And that scream at the end of the episode is absolutely insane. Not to go off topic or anything, but the entire episode dedicated to A2's past honestly ripped through my skin and really made me feel like, damn, this woman has such a distinct and traumatic past of trying to protect others, but finds out that, she is so caring to the point that she lets others protect her, and that results in them essentially getting themselves killed. You find this to be a reoccurrence for her as a character, especially when it comes to the end of this series, of this anime. When it comes to the finale of the series, the final episode, she makes her decision and essentially says, you know what, I'm gonna destroy this tower and let it all come crumbling down. And that's what she does. Deactivate the tower so that humanity's existence can still be intact. But you also see a rocket shoot up, so I don't know for sure if that rocket ever hit the moon or not. It's never really explained all that well on what happens. The supporting units, they still live and fight back against all the other supporting units that turn and try to end all of Project Yorha, but that never turns out. They reincarnate 2B and 9S, which was very cool to see, and I think that did happen in the game, but I can't quite remember. I last played this game back in 2018 and never played it again, and there's a specific reason for that. This anime, I give it a 9.5, and the reason why I don't give it a 10 out of 10 is due to the sheer fact that I fell asleep in some of the first episodes, and I don't know why. The anime was very slow in the beginning. If you're hard to get into anime, I would say give this anime a chance. You may not like it in the beginning, but it picks up after some time, especially when they are given missions or they use their black boxes. And I especially love Adam and Eve and the fights. The animation of this anime is very unique, especially with the fluidity between 9S and A2's last final fight. That was one that I loved when I first played the game, and to see it remastered in such a way was so nice to see. I couldn't be much more happier to relive this experience of NieR. It's one of those series that got me through such a rough time in my past. It was a game series that really made me feel like there is still hope for humanity, because at the end of the day, we all live one single life, and whatever that may be, just gotta keep holding the weight of not only our mistakes but our successes. Some people may have more than others, and that's perfectly okay, but at the end of the day, we all just gotta know that we only have one life, and we gotta just make the most out of it while we still can. And if you all are going through any sort of rough spot in your life, trust me, it will get better. It takes a while, but it will get better eventually in time. I would definitely love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on this anime. Definitely let me know what you guys thought of it. I would highly recommend it to anyone that is willing to watch a long series. One final note that I should mention is that I love the puppets that were portrayed at every single end of the episode, even if they were like little comic strips. It was really nice to see, and it was all out of context, and I absolutely love the little side stories that they gave for many of the minor side characters or even just the main characters themselves. I loved that little part, but I just wanted to make a little note at the end because I just enjoyed that little nod and it was just so refreshing to see. I would like to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on NieR. Did you guys not prefer it compared to the game? I definitely want to play NieR Replicant eventually in time. I have been Nobloth. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment down below your guys' thoughts and opinions. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care and peace.